Hey, hey guys, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today. And to be honest, I'm feeling a little bit nervous today. Things have kind of gone up in the air, and I don't have a guest to join me on today's show. And I wanted to still jump on. I think it's really important for me and to express my nervousness, absolutely. But it's important that I continue on with this show. You know, the show is called Under Construction. And I look around and I see the brick wall behind me. And I also acknowledge all the tools that I've been given, you know, this past 11 years, the tools that I use on a daily basis to become a better person, and also to live life to the fullest. I noticed I've got a couple of people who have joined us. Thank you so much. I was just saying that today's show is really, really unrehearsed. I've got no idea exactly what's going to go on. Thank you, Dale. Hey, brother. Thanks for joining me. And thank you, anyone else out there. Hey, Sarah, for joining us too. You know, today, please, I'm coming to you guys live from my backyard here in Cecil Hills. It's a beautiful sunny day, actually. And please, if you're watching, would you mind leaving your comment? Let me know where you're coming in live watching this from, because, you know, and I've said this before and I've said this each week, that I just love that I have this opportunity as a man, like on a journey of personal development, to share my experience with people. And one of the things that I'm really privileged to do is be connected with people from all over the world, you know, coming from the LinkedIn platform and also Facebook, where a lot of my close-knit community come in from, and I get a lot of support. And Lucas, my brother, thank you so much for joining us. It's Marnie. Hey, Marnie, it's a pleasure. Thank you. That's your sister, I know. Guys, so today, one of the things that I am most passionate about is sharing my experiences around gratitude. You know, if anybody knows me out there, you know, gratitude is something that's really important to me. And what I want to touch on first is that it's crazy that I would even say that gratitude is such an important thing in my life. And if you've just joined us later, I just want to let you guys know that so far today, I don't have a guest on the show. If anyone would like to come on and share their experiences with gratitude, I'd love for you to join us. So let's talk about gratitude. You know, 11 years ago when I entered recovery, a journey of personal development, I was an incredibly selfish and ungrateful kind of guy, in fact. And I talk about this quite often. People used to talk about the birds and the flowers, and I'd see people holding hands in the street, and it used to frustrate me. I was so ungrateful, and I was so disconnected from what happiness truly was, that I wasn't able to identify any joy in that stuff. And today I come to you, you know, after being on this personal development journey for quite some time, over a decade, around about 100,000 hours of lived experience. And let me tell you that it's been a hard journey to get to where I'm at today. But today, I think I have a level of happiness and gratitude that I never expected, which makes me wonder, you know, if any of you are joining me, please let me know. What do you reckon? Do you reckon gratitude or happiness comes first? It's kind of like that chicken or the egg kind of question. And I think personally, my life and my happiness promotes my gratitude, you know. Thank you, all the guys coming in. So guys, I've got some information that I'd love to share with you. And first of all, right now, I'd like to touch on this organization I connected with going back probably almost 18 months ago now, called ShareTree. And Stephen Ferrugia, actually, I wish you were here, Steve, to just let you go. He runs an organization that work around gratitude in the workplace. And one of the really important things around gratitude is acknowledging the good things we see in other people. And today I'd love to share some tips and tricks and hacks that I use on a daily basis, absolutely, to promote my happiness and levels of gratitude. Guys, I want to, you know, I'd done a little bit of research before the show, and I came up with some really powerful words And actually, there could be so many more, but I'm going to put them up on the screen. That these, look, I chose these words out of 100, and I'm talking about these words that actually come from these character cards, which I was just mentioning, that are provided to us from ShareTree. They're also partnered with virtual projects and the Purposefulness Group. But the words thoughtfulness, respect, tolerance, generosity, unity, enthusiasm. So I'm quite an enthusiastic person. My passion, acceptance was one of the big ones. Hope. I think hope is incredibly important when we want to build our happiness and appreciation, which brings me on to the next word. Empathy is another thing that I think is part of my level of happiness. Loyalty, and I think about one mate in particular when I say loyalty, and I absolutely agree. Although loyalty doesn't have to always be given to us, but I think it's important for me to have loyal relationships. Absolutely. Forgiveness is another big one. Forgiveness is actually one of those big ones that really stops us from being grateful people. Integrity, I think about integrity, doing what I say I'm going to do. Compassion is something that I'm really grateful for as well. Faith, honesty, absolutely. And also I've got in here wonder and dream. I think it's really important for us on a journey in life and on a journey towards happiness to dream really big. One of the things that I do, and I have done this past 11 years along my journey of recovery, is dream really big. In fact, I don't want to go. I could tell you some amazing stories of hope that I've had over this journey and how I've dreamed big to achieve that stuff. But if I just go back to what I was saying, 11 years ago when I entered this journey, I was this incredibly ungrateful person. I was not able to see any happiness in anything. And I guess using a lot of the tools that I've been provided throughout my recovery journey. Actually, for you guys who don't know, I'm actually a man in recovery from drugs and alcohol. I've been abstinent now for 11 years, 4 months and 6 days, but who's counting, but look, I really had to jump on all the things that were suggested to me to help increase my happiness and gratitude, but also to give me some self-esteem, some confidence. And it's crazy to think that I'm sitting here sharing, my story of gratitude with you. One thing I wanted to touch on right now is I also work in this amazing drug and alcohol treatment center, and I hope any of the staff or clients are watching. If you are, or ex-residents, actually, let's not break anonymity, but I work in this amazing place called Glebe House, and very regularly I get this opportunity. Well, actually, let's say every 10 weeks, I get this opportunity to run an interactive group with a bunch of men around gratitude. And actually, I came up with this group at TAFE going back 8 years ago. It was one of our assessments, and I'm still using this group today. And this group often brings tears to people's eyes. And when I'm talking about tears, I'm talking about tears of joy, mostly, I think. But I have this opportunity to get guys, and I don't know if anyone out there watching ever uses a gratitude list. It's something that I did in my early days, and it's certainly a tool that I use when I'm struggling, to write down 5 things that I'm grateful for. Now, did you know that when we express our gratitude, okay, let me give you a couple of statistics. When we express our gratitude, let's say with pen and paper, right, we write down 5 things that we're grateful for. We can instantly increase our levels of happiness between 2 and 4%. This is based on a study which I can add to the comments section afterwards, that I've been involved in. Now we can, and it makes a lot of sense. Like, let's not get too technical with it. 2 and 4%. We can increase our levels of happiness just like that by writing out some 5 things that we're grateful for. Now, even more important than that, and this is really what I want to share with you guys today, is when we express our gratitude to another person, when we acknowledge the amazing things or the impact or the positive things that they do and they've had on our lives, we can increase our levels of happiness by up to 19%. Now, when I say that, I don't have any proven stats. I'm just sharing my experience with you, okay? But I'm also going by some facts that I did read. But if you can imagine, and actually yesterday I got to watch this in two people sharing their gratitude, and it's such a special thing. Now, there's two really big points when we express our gratitude to another human being, okay? And if you're not doing this, I'm just going to encourage that you do. If you want to be happy, and if you'd like to try, be brave, take a risk, let somebody know today. Send somebody a message now, or an audio message, or give them a call and let them know about that positive influence or impact that they've had on your life. Do you know what the definition for gratitude is? I don't have it with me. I believe it's the readiness to show appreciation and be thankful for, and to return kindness for generosity shown to us. Yeah, it's a special thing. So, guys, a couple of practices, and I'm going to refer to something I read from Share Tree and now character cards that I mentioned at the beginning of the show. But the practice of gratitude is seeing blessings in every moment. Thank you, anyone who's joining us now. Please let us know where you're coming in from. I see a little bit of interaction, and thank you so much. If anyone's got any questions, please let me know. Share with us today what are you grateful for. So the practice of gratitude is I see blessings in every moment. One of the things, I say that a lot, don't I? But one of the things that I think gratitude, I believe today I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I can usually see the positives in all situations. So I continually express my gratitude. Again, something as I just mentioned, this is the stuff that's going to help make me a happier chap. I think, don't forget to, along this journey, one thing that's really important to me, and one of the words I read out earlier was, did I say, I think it's forgiveness, but empathy. Empathy. Empathy is such an important one. It's something that I really struggled with in my early days. I used to be, as I said, incredibly selfish and ungrateful. Lester, I was serving life. Hey, Lester, thanks for joining us. I'll put your comment up there on the screen in just a second. So I reflect on the good things, as I just mentioned then. I'm a glass half full kind of guy. Again, I was not, okay? I reckon after having 11 years experience working in this field of personal development, I think that you can help teach someone to become grateful. And it's just a couple of those tips and tricks and hacks along the way that help me. Thanks for the comments. That help me to increase those levels of happiness. I found I celebrate the good times as well. It's really important to acknowledge those good things that are happening for us. Being grateful when we don't get what we want is actually the ultimate form of gratitude. Guys, just I see Lester. How are you, mate? Thanks for joining us. Lester, I was serving a life prison feeling depressed. When I started writing down 5 things I was thankful for in the morning and night, it changed my life in prison. Absolutely, man. That's that stuff I was just talking about, around acknowledging just a little bit of tiny good in every situation. Thank you. And who we got? Marnie. Hey, brother, I'm so grateful to hear your stories like yours. Walking journey of Marnie. I've heard great things about you. Thank you so much for your comment. And Lucas, my brother, you are a legend, brother. I'm grateful for the spirit ancestor higher power gave me and another chance to call life and help others. Lucas, let me just say, guys, if you don't mind me mentioning Lucas, you are one of the guys who Lucas, would you like to join me on the show if you're still there, mate? I can get you up here on screen because I'd love to express my gratitude towards you for some of the stuff you've shown me. I think you're one of the calmest, coolest, collected guys I've ever encountered. I'd love to hear from you around how you managed to do that. So, guys, I mentioned those words earlier, and one of the things, I think I've said that quite a few times, on a daily basis is that there's been a lot of struggles for me. All right, Lucas, I'm going to send you a message on Messenger. Oh, are you even on Messenger at the moment? I'll send it to you on link. Oh, you're coming to me from Facebook. Yeah, guys, one of the things that, excuse me, actually, I'm just gonna take a second. Lucas, can you send me a message, man, on Messenger? Oh, okay. I got you, bro, mate. Guys, excuse me. I'm gonna get a very special man on the show with us right now. If he's happy to join us, that would be good. Be really important. You know, do you think when we come from, for example, I came from a lot of pain, hurt, and misery in my past. Right, I spent 17 years on the streets using, abusing, any substance, and I used to do that to change the way I feel. Now, I want to acknowledge today that prior to picking up that stuff, I never had a miserable life, and I think it's important for me as a man in recovery to acknowledge that. So my question was going to be: do you think? And please let me know if you do think so. Do you think that you have to come from a horrible past to be incredibly grateful for the small things today? You know, guys, I'm feeling a bit heavy-hearted at the moment as well. And actually, this has been playing on my mind all day. I lost a cat. Now I know some people might smile or laugh about this, and it kind of does sound funny, but I locked the cat out 3 days ago when I left to go to work. And the cat's a stray cat that we were looking after, and it's gone. I had someone come by the house in the meantime looking for her and calling out for Blackie, but we never got her back. I'm very hopeful that she's going to return. Last time we lost her for 3 days, she was stuck up on a tree. Sorry, her brother Daniel. Lucas, you with us, mate? Excuse me for a sec. Guys, any questions? Any comments? Marnie, thanks for your interactions. Marnie. I'm so grateful for hearing my stuff. Thank you, Marnie. I'm going to put your comment up on screen if you don't mind. Let me respond to it. Oh, brother Danny, I'm so grateful for hearing your story myself on our journey of recovery and alcohol addiction. Sorry about the last comment it posted before I was finished. No worries, Marnie. And thank you so much for joining us. And guys, I'm really just winging it here today. It's important that I continue putting this live out on a weekly basis. It's important for quite a few reasons, and I'm so grateful for the support that I do receive. Lucas, if you click on that link at the bottom of the message I sent you, it might take you straight to the StreamYard. That's where we're going to come in live from. And if not, copy that link at the bottom and put that into your internet browser, and it will bring you to the show. So I'm on this business journey. And if anyone knows me, and I'm sorry if I clog up some of your shit with or the social media with that stuff, but I'm just trying to create more happiness, I guess. I'm trying to become successful, although some might say that I am successful, and I agree, I am successful. Life is very successful. Are you going to talk about Bitcoin? Hey, Andrew, there's always one guy. Andrew, actually, as it happens, if someone's just asked me, a good mate, if I'm going to talk about Bitcoin, I'm going to just spotlight you for a second, Andrew. Today, I wanted to actually have a guest on the show who was going to share about gambling. So, mate, guys, Andrew, guys, I'm going to put Lucas. I'm going to bring you straight up. Lucas, you're straight on, mate.
Hey.
How are you, brother?
I'm good, bro. How you going?
Yeah, good, mate. We're actually live, Lucas. I could have had a chat backstage, but I know you and I have developed enough of a friendship and a connection. I can just bring you straight on, mate. Thanks for joining us.
Mate. Cool, brother.
What are you up to today, Lucas?
I
You
am.
working?
I'm about to head to Alice Springs to Yundamu on Sunday. So yeah, me and Marnie are heading out there to do a big project with one of the communities out there.
I was right about money. That's your sister, isn't it?
That's my sister. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Thank God. Because
Yeah.
Marnie, thank you for your comment. She commented, and I thought, I know that name. That's Lucas's sister, but different last name on the. Lucas, so you're heading up to Alice Springs, and look, I guess that's why I wanted to get you on today, to talk about some of that gratitude stuff. And I want to express before you go on and tell me a little bit about that guys, if I had the most amazing journey in December last year. Lucas invited me, which I think isn't such a common thing, but into a remote Indigenous Aboriginal community in, where were we? Santa Teresa.
Santa Teresa.
Yeah, well, and I went like
Yeah.
bush for 5 days. It was the most epic experience I have ever had, Lucas. And I swear to God, I do not say that lightly. It was the most amazing experience. So you're going to go do some more of that stuff this week, are you?
Yeah, we are. We're going out for a week. We've got a 6-month contract with people here might remember Kuman J. Walker that was shot by the police officer in the Northern Territory in the community. So that's
When did
actually
that
the
happen?
community. That happened last year.
I do remember.
So that's the community we're going to work to, not work with, to walk alongside and learn and do things with community. Yeah, it's going to be really exciting to see some of that healing take place. Yeah.
So, Lucas, do you mind talking a little bit about your work? We'll don't share. You said the healing. What do you mean by healing when you say
Yeah,
that?
sure. I want to come back actually to Santa Teresa first, because in all the years I've been doing this, it's been I've been doing this since I've been born, really, but I just didn't click into it till I was about 28, and so Danny was the first person that I'd ever invited to a remote community, and I think it goes back to the way that we connect, and our stories are very similar in the way that we've spent time in institutions and we just clicked. And so off Denny Long, and
Yeah.
Denny, when you go bushway or community way, one of the things that takes place when you're accepted is you've got to cook kangaroo tail. And I sat back watching it, and Denny was grabbed by a community, and he was told to cook kangaroo tail, and he had to do the whole process, and then he had to try some. So it was really refreshing, and it was, when we talk about gratitude, something I was grateful for is having this non-Indigenous man come into a community and just be accepted and brung in as one of us because of the way that you moved with your soul and your spirit. And it was just a beautiful thing to sit back and watch, Anyway, I wanted to say that, bros. You
Thank you,
didn't cover
Lucas.
that part, and I thought that was the special part.
Yeah, no, I didn't, and I guess that's what made it so incredibly special. When I realized what was going on, and yeah, that was just. Yeah, look, you can see the gratitude in my face for that, mate. So thank you so much for probably an experience that not many people would have an opportunity to feel.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the healing, Luke, because this is something that's really interesting, because most of my community that I'm in around recovery aren't really aware of that stuff, I think. Well, anyway, I wasn't exactly. Can you
Yep.
tell me a little bit more about the healing stuff?
Yeah, sure. It's kind of where it links into my own story, like back in the 1930s, my grandmother, so I'm an Aboriginal man from Bundjalung country in northern New South Wales. And in the 1930s, my grandmother was removed from birth and put into care with some non-Indigenous carers. Anyway, she grew up and received a lot of trauma from that care, from the people that cared for her. And she went on to have 9 children, which one of them was my mother. And from that, a lot of trauma got then passed down into our family members, and me being one of them, and my sisters and all of our cousins. And I'm talking like trauma beyond imagination, like deep, violence and sexual violence and drugs and alcohol and all sorts of different stuff. And we were carrying on this destructive pattern of behavior and trauma within our family, and we reached a place where we come across the word healing, or the meaning of healing. What does that mean? And this is about 10 or so years ago, and we knew that we needed to change something in our family. And so we started to heal each other. And what that means is it's starting to heal our spirit inside, in the way of doing it in a way of healing circle. And I talk to Danny quite often around. He does his AA in circles, and I don't know if sometimes I might sit in a room just in whatever, but I know that I've been to some AAs and it's in circle form. Actually, one of the communities in Canada, they do AA in a healing circle way as well. So we started to do this healing, and we implemented traditional healing into these healing circles, which means song, dance, ceremony, to start to heal the neurological and biological processes or destruction or impacts from colonization inside of our spirits. And so it's been a journey of doing that for 10 years. And about 5 years ago, we started to work in a few different communities. And then all of a sudden it took off right across Australia, and working with government and NGOs in implementing, bringing back a lot of that traditional healing for our people, because we know that it improves the way that our brain functions. It connects different circuits that may not be working in our brain. It reconnects them, it refires them off, and it starts to heal the body as well. And when we do these things, we have healing in our brain, we have healing in our body. And a lot of the time, if we just do talk therapy without doing the practice, well, the body doesn't get healed. The brain might start to have some different thinking, but the body gets left behind. And so that's why we incorporate our traditional healing with our yarning circles, so that when we we talk about the trauma stuff, our actual body isn't getting left behind. We do the ceremony that's meant to go with it. And we know that when we do our ceremony and our healing, that the brain stays active in that process for 21 days later, or 19 days later, sorry. And so if you could imagine doing that every week, the brain is just constantly healing itself with that thing that we call neuroplasticity. So that's a short version, bro. I love talking about this. I'm not going to go on and on because it's not my thing. This is your thing, and it's just really cool. Just laying on the lounge watching TV, and always click onto your videos.
Yeah, you do, mate. And look, Lucas, you're someone I really value. You know, you're like a mentor to me. That healing stuff. You just hit the nail on the head, mate. It's just like the stuff I do, just in a different form. And I love that neuroplasticity thing that you said. Like, the more often we do this, start to change those neuro pathways in our head, and it becomes the norm. You know.
That's it. Yeah. And I always say it. Our brain is like a bushfire that's gone through the bush, and whenever a bushfire has gone through the bush, we need to go in and clean it up. And when we clean it up, our brain behaves better and acts better. Buzz.
Yeah, I often say, like, my brain needed washing. I've been brainwashed by new ways to live, and my brain certainly needed washing. Lucas, also part of your journey that you've told me about, I really admire, and I love following you and watching you grow, and all the wishes and success to you, my brother.
Thanks, brother. Thank you.
Guys, look, thanks for joining us, Lucas. I think here's Jack. Hey, Jack, thanks for touching on. And I wonder if Lisa H is out there listening. I know Lisa's a big fan of you, Lucas, and your work, and me too. It doesn't look like she's with us. Jack, thanks for jumping on and saying hello. I was watching your podcast this morning, Jack. So, Lucas, there's a bit of an echo in the background too. Are you picking up on that? Or is it just my
Nah, it must be your end.
All right, brother. Thanks so much, Lucas.
Right.
Let's do this again soon, eh? See you, brother.
For sure. How do I stop it?
Yeah, I think you just leave studio, is it?
All right, I'll work it out. Wait there.
Yeah, guys. So look, it brings us to the end of the show. I would like to acknowledge once again, amazing Lucas joined us to thank you, Lucas, and Annalise. Hey, how are you? Thanks. Yeah, Lucas is amazing. I'm at work in Redfern and watching this on my break. Thanks, Annalise. It's great to hear from you also, yeah, Lucas, as he mentioned, he's actually backstage. I think can you still hear me, Lucas? Anyway, he invited me into that remote Aboriginal community to be a part of, a part of his work, and it's the biggest privilege. And I want to just touch on the fact that when we be brave and have courage and put our story out there, amazing things can happen. This past 2 years, actually, I've been on this journey, this business journey, this journey of personal development. In fact, I'm a tech founder, I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm an inventor. Thank you so much to Paris Cutler for labeling me with that. But along that journey, okay, I've had this opportunity to share just my experiences out loud on video within the LinkedIn, Facebook platforms, Instagram as well. And I want to share this with you, that what it has happened as a result of that stuff is I've been interviewed, and I'm no one special. Yeah, this is why I'm saying it. Like, my story is just so similar to so many other people's story, but I've in sharing my message online on social media, I've had the opportunity to be interviewed on over 20 podcasts, half of them from America, the UK, where else? Yeah, Europe, and all over the world, and a heap of Aussie ones too. And I've also built this community on social media where I share my, on LinkedIn, I've got a headline of gratitude and sobriety being really important to me. And I've been able to get my message. And now these days, every single day I get a message from somebody just reaching out to ask for help. And I'm not trying to make any money from any of that stuff. This is just my way of giving back to the community as well. On top of that, like I mentioned, I am a tech founder, so I've got a little bit of a side hustle that I'm trying to build as well. But that's certainly not why I'm here today. I love sharing my gratitude because, as I said in the beginning, the more I express my gratitude, the happier, the more spiritual I feel. And today, I believe gratitude is my drug. Again, thank you so much, Lucas. Thank you, everyone who joined us, asked questions, left your comments. Marnie, you're a legend. Jack, great to see you this morning. Andrew, good luck with the Bitcoin, mate. Annalise, thank you. Lucas, you're a legend. Lester, thank you very much, brother, for joining us. Last couple of weeks ago, I interviewed a fella from Michigan who'd just been released after 28 years of prison. So I don't know how it must feel, but I love that you were able to take advantage of the tools of a gratitude list for sure to increase your levels of happiness and acknowledge those good things in life. Dale, thank you so much. Guys, legends, thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys next week. I'm really going to try to get somebody with a history of gambling issues to come on and share their experiences with us, because I think gambling is one of those ones that society can certainly not frown upon so much. It's a really a normal thing to do in a lot of people's lives, but it affects so many lives as well. So I'd love to get someone on to share their experiences with that. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks for jumping on, mate. Calling me a bullfed. Hello, bullfed. Guys, again, thank you very much. I'll see you next week.